Alright, it's January 2025 and you know what that means, new Ibanez models. Let's talk about them. Now, you can probably tell where I'm from based off of how I say my channel name, High Z Productions. But on Australian websites, they're already releasing new models. So let's check them out. So as you can see, I'm a big Ibanez fan, but I am a guitarist. But I primarily play solid body guitars, so I'm not a bassist or a semi-hollow player or acoustic player by any means. So my expertise will be on the solid body guitars. But I do have this cool BTB bass. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of the brands shown, so not Ibanez or anybody, okay? Alright, so let's jump right in. And I'm just checking out these on the phone right here. So let's see, first we got some acoustic models. We got and I can't wait to say all these Wi-Fi password model names. So first we got some acoustic guitars. Looks like we got the AAM340CE. And we have the AAM50CE. All right, let's see what the difference is. So let's see, the first one's the 340CE. It's a black guitar, love it. All right, pretty cool. Has that undersaddle pickup, a bunch of electronics, rosewood bridge. All right, and bridge pins. Yeah, pretty cool. It's got that all blacked out look that I would really appreciate as a teenager. Obviously, I'm a fan of black. Pretty big coincidence. But hey, you know, if your band has an aesthetic, and you're trying to put on a presentation, a show, we're performers, I can understand why you'd want an all-black guitar. All right, and then looking at the AAM50, let's see. All right, so it has a preamp and tuner and other stuff. Maybe it's a bit more stripped down. It looks like the spec list on the 340 was longer. All right, so the 340 that is black does have a bigger price and a longer spec list, so there is more to it. Again, I'm not an acoustic player, so let's move on. Got some other classy choices like the AE160, the AE170, the AE300, and the AEG721. Ooh, those last two are 7 strings. I'd actually be pretty interested in trying those. Let's see, the AE300 has, let's see, it says a comfort grip, rosewood fretboard, that's great, jumbo frets. Sitka spruce top, all right. Flamed okome, back and sides, so that's pretty cool. My Laradas have that wood material that I still to this day cannot pronounce. Oh, and a Fishman Escort pickup, pretty cool. All right, a bunch of cool stuff on there. Let's move on. All right, then rounding things out, we got the AEWC61 and the AJ54E. And that second one doesn't have a cutaway. All right, Naoda neck, Laurel fretboard. Okume again, very cool. I guess that's the wood to use these days. But I'm a fan. It's kind of like mahogany, but it allegedly has some more attack or something. Let's jump into the semi-hollows. I'm really itching to get to the solid bodies, so let's run through this. All right, so we got the AS73G. All right, and then another AS73T. Looks like there's a bunch of colors. There's the AS93FM and the AS93QM. All right, so the QM is going to be quilted, I'm guessing. And then the FM will probably be flamed. All right, so a bunch of the same model it looks like. But let's dive right in so you don't eviscerate me in the comments. All right, so the AS73G, very classy looking. Love the silver. There's more Naoda, rosewood. Pretty classic choice. Medium frets, of course. Classic elite pickups. All right. Gibraltar Performance Bridge. Well, I like the Gibraltar Standard 2 that I have on my RG5121. So hopefully this is that good. Not too much else here. So it looks like this is a pretty standard semi-hollow guitar. And of course, there's the orange one too. All right, then the 9.3 looks like there's flamed maple. That's probably what the FM is. Everything else looks pretty much the same. So then the QM is going to be quilted. Yeah, the brown one. Yeah, quilted. Ooh, love the inlay though, gotta say. That Tree of Life is a classic. Oh, and look at that. There's ukuleles, 6-string ukuleles. We got the AUP10FMNE, just rolls off the tongue. And of course the AUP10N. Let's see what these are about. All right, so they have also an undersaddle pickup, AEQ2U preamp. All right, preamp with an onboard tuner. All right, so it's a spec'd out ukulele. Very cool. I don't personally play ukulele, but that's cool to see. All right, let's get into the solid bodies now. And it looks like up first there's a bunch of AZs. And I mean, that makes sense. AZs look like they're going to be a big seller. They seem to be pretty popular. It's cutting into that kind of Stratocaster market, and I don't blame them. The Stratocaster is a classic. It survived this long for a reason. So it looks like scrolling through these, we have a bunch of colors. Ooh, and humbuckers in the bridge. That's pretty good. I'm a fan of humbuckers in the bridge. I'm a metal kid at heart. And of course you got the single coil in the neck and in the middle. Classic. Ooh, and a green one. Green one with 2 humbuckers. That's interesting. But let's see, let's go back. All right, the AZ7203NT. Dark Tide Blue Flat. Really like the tortoise pickguard too. Classic dots, 22 frets. So this one looks to be prestige, but it has the works. The Oval C S-Tech wood roasted maple neck. All right, so it's roasted maple. Rosewood fretboard, classic. Jumbo stainless steel frets with prestige edge treatment. Fret edge treatment. All right, personally, I'm a fan of stainless steel. I like how smooth and durable it is. I could understand why maybe some Stratocaster purists or old guitar purists might prefer the nickel silver. Maybe that's what they're used to. And it does have a different feel when you're bending and doing vibrato stuff like that. For me personally, I do like this stainless steel. And I know the AZ has had stainless steel for a while. So no surprise here. This seems to be business as usual. All right, besides that, we got Alder, of course. Seymour Duncan Fortuna SSS pickups. Godo tuners, Godo tremolo, good stuff, love Godo. Some kind of crazy switching system, lumen lays, hard shell case of course. Alright, and then we move on to the AZ2204. Looks like this is another prestige. Ooh, it's all white, it's got a humbucker in the bridge, very nice. Alright, it's 22 frets, but it also has the works, you know, the stainless steel frets, the outer body, the roasted maple neck, all that stuff, the switching system. Alright, so this is the humbucker bridge version of it. Very cool. And then we got a green one. All right, interesting, rather appealing. Same kind of dealio going on there. And then there's a vermilion red. Just based off of this picture, it kind of reminds me of Fiesta red. Of course, we'll see what it looks like in person, but very cool. Very nice to see there's not just one color option or 2 or 3. And it looks like this one and the green one have a covered humbucker, but that white one has an uncovered humbucker, if it matters to you. All right, then we're jumping down to something more affordable with the AZ22S1F. All right, just rolls off the tongue again. And we got the roasted maple neck, but this one just plainly says roasted maple neck, so it might be a different process. I don't have any experience with this or the other kind of roasted neck that they do, so I cannot comment if there's a difference you can feel. I've mostly been playing prestige RG guitars, just as some context of what I do. Of course, you can check me out on Spotify, on YouTube Music, Apple Music, all streaming services. I do original metal songs and, of course, video game metal covers. But enough of the self-plug, let's get back to this. All right, so a T106 tremolo, locking machine heads. Okay, so the lower cost ones don't have the Godo hardware. I'm sure these are still fine if you set them up properly. Always good to learn how to set up your own guitar. It'll save you a lot of headache, especially as the seasons change. All right, then this one has flame maple too, but also jumbo stainless steel frets. Okay, so good to see that on the lower cost ones. They also have stainless steel used for the fret wire. Again, personally, I'm a huge fan of this. I understand if you prefer the nickel silver. Again, these are tools for the trade. We all have our preferences. We're all trying to craft music, so whatever works for you is good. And then we can move to this green one with the 2 humbuckers, and this looks to be another prestige. All right, so it has all the fancy stuff, the Oval C S-Tech wood roasted maple neck, so that fancy stuff. S-Tech wood roasted maple fretboard. Okay, so the fretboard is separate, but also roasted. Again, stainless steel frets with prestige edge. Alder body, I feel like that's going to be a common thing across the AZ line. And this one has the Hyperion HH pickups. I personally haven't played the Hyperions, so I can't comment on those, but they seem to stick with them, so it seems like they seem to work. I have more experience with the typical Tone Zone Air Norton on the Prestige RGs. I also have experience, of course, with the AMG 8160, being a 2000s metalcore kid. I've used the Fishman Fluence Moderns a lot, ceramic and Alnico, and some bare knuckle pickup and other stuff, but let's move on. All right, so this looks like it's basically this green Prestige AZ is the Prestige AZ, but with 2 humbuckers. And also 24 frets. So if I was going to pick an AZ, it would probably be this one. Although, personally, I'm not a huge fan of this green color. I understand this is a really good guitar. It looks like it's replacing the flat white and the flat black. And hey, if you like this kind of green, power to you. This year, you're in luck. All right, let's move on. Looks like more lower cost AZs. We got the 2.4 S1F in transparent black, transparent turquoise, in Violin Sunburst, very interesting. All right, next our basses. We got the 5-string BTB605. We got the BTB605 in Midnight Arctic. And we got a 606 in transparent gray flat, just like the first 605. Very cool. I'm a fan of my BTB. And so diving into the specs of these, looks like this one here, the 605 in the transparent gray flat. It has a maple Jatoba neck, rosewood fretboard classic, medium frets, Okume wing body, and the 606 looks to be more of the same. And then the Midnight Arctic Ocean looks pretty cool. It has slightly different specs than mentioned. We have of course, the maple walnut neck with graphite reinforced rods, cool, and a Panga fretboard. All right. Those feel pretty unique, but pretty interesting. Not bad. They wear in pretty well. Medium stainless steel frets, already a huge fan of this. T1 pickups, okay. You can switch it to passive, it looks like an EQ bypass switch. And it comes with a hard shell case, that's great. So it's a pretty cool multi-scale bass, it looks like. Alright, and then we got the BTB945 5-string in Cosmic Blue Low Gloss. And there's a 6-string variant as well. Looks really nice. If you like blue, of course. So this has the stainless steel frets, medium size. And then it says a poplar burl top with okume and ash wings. Cool. Hopefully the ash reduces the weight somewhat, because my BTB is heavy as a brick. Alright, and then moving on to the headless basses, we have the EHB1135MS, a 5-string in Silver Wave Black, and then one also a natural flat. Very cool. Alright, and these have the Panga walnut neck with the graphite reinforcement rods, ash top okume body. Very nice. Stainless steel frets again. And these have the Bartolinis. Okay, now we're talking. 3-band EQ, custom headpieces, of course, the bridge. And this also has the EQ bypass switch, but only a gig bag. Alright, and so for the natural flat one, it looks like there's a pale moon ebony top, of course. You could tell by the streaks. Very nice looking. And an ash body to save some weight. And beyond that, we got the Panga fretboard and medium stainless steel frets. Love the steel, personally. Bunch of cool stuff here. There's a single coil mode switch, which is a push and pull. Alright, so if you like single coils on your bass, there you go. And then there's the Midnight Arctic Ocean one. So the EHB5MSBSP just rolls off the tongue again. They have a way with words at Ibanez. Alright, then finally we have another acoustic, the PJ50E. And it looks like this is just the budget acoustic right here. Still has an onboard tuner though, pretty cool. Alright, let's jump into the solid body electric guitars. So it looks like first we're starting off with the budget ones, the RG460DX. And we got the blue haze and metallic roadster orange. And it comes with the shark fins. Very cool inlays. Of course, we have the Wizard 3 maple neck. Keep in mind the Wizard 3 has a different profile than the Prestige. But still not bad, very usable. I find it's pretty good on my S671. We have a Jatoba fretboard, we have jumbo frets, so the nickel silver frets, and then it looks like this has a Moranti body, which is supposed to be kind of like mahogany. Very interesting. Cool to see they're changing it up though. We got the Quantum SSH pickups, which aren't the greatest in the world, but they're much better than INF pickups from back in the day. So not bad. Edge 02 tremolo, of course. So very cool if you want just a typical Ibanez with the HSS configuration. Pretty versatile. Ooh, wow, okay. Now we have the RG565, very nice. I really, really love my RG550 Genesis. The Road Flare Red just has been impossible to capture on my setup, my lighting setup. It looks orange every time, but really it's like a red-orange, slightly almost a little bit pink in the shadows. But I really love this guitar. It plays really well. So I'm really excited to see a 565. And it looks like we got it in Desert Sun Yellow, of course. Very cool. Love it. And Electric Blue too. All right. So let's take a look at the specs. We got the shark fin inlays. Very nice. Basswood body. Personally, I'm a fan of the basswood. How's it pronounced? It has the R and the V8 pickups. Okay. Not terrible. Rosewood fretboard, of course. Back in the day, I would always prefer ebony over rosewood, but these days, rosewood isn't so bad. I kind of like the feel. And it's got the Super Wizard 5-piece neck. Very nice playing. Goto machine heads, love it. Edge tremolo, love it. 24 frets. All right, so some pretty typical stuff. Now, between my Stratocaster, my Solar AB, the Desert Rose, and the Abasi Space T. I don't really need another guitar with a single coil type of pickup in the neck. I'm mostly an HH kind of guy, 2 humbucker in the neck. But I can appreciate this, and I like the desert yellow, so it is kind of tempting. I think this is going to be my number 1 pick from all of these. I could just call it right now. Unless there's some amazing thing, like maybe a Prestige RGA, probably not. Maybe a Prestige S, probably not. Maybe that Scotty LePage Zyphos, probably not, let's be real. So I think this right here is my favorite right now. And hey, the electric blue is cool too, if you like the blue. All right, and a left-handed RG7421, pretty good budget 7-string. That is left-handed, pretty typical stuff. Looks like Marianti is gonna be the typical for this year. Jumbo frets, Jatoba, HH quantum pickups. Yeah, just a budget 7-string, not bad. You can go play gigs with this, record with this, it's just fine. All right, now we have some RGDs. Love the RGD line. Looks like we have a 6 and a 7-string. The 6-string is in black Aurora Burst Matte. Say that 5 times fast. And the 7-string is in black flat. Ooh, love that. I do like my Solar A 1.7, so this probably isn't going to replace that, but this is pretty cool though. 2 humbuckers. I'm guessing it's a 3-way switch. Let's take a look. All right, yeah, ebony fretboard, love it. It has a Wizard 2 roasted maple neck. Oh my goodness. Naota body. Deactivator pickups. Oh my god. This is getting more and more tempting. I do like the deactivators a lot. Goto locking machine heads. My goodness. Luminescent side dots. Coil tap switch, if that matters to you. All right. I'm actually pretty impressed. I wasn't expecting much from this besides the black paint job, but who knows? Let's go back to the 6-string RGD. All right, so the 6-string has a Wizard 3 neck, but it's also roasted. Okay, and Makassar ebony fretboard versus the 7-string had the ebony fretboard. Interesting. Jumbo frets, Naota body again. Fishman Fluence Modern humbucker ceramic pickups. Okay, so those are pretty good. I like the dynamics of those, but the Fishmans, the Moderns, they do have the Fishman Modern sound, if you know what I'm talking about. So they sound a certain way. One guy described it as like a dodgeball bouncing, and once I heard that, I can't unhear it. So if you're not a fan of that sound, that Fishman sound, then maybe you won't be a fan of this, but they're pretty good pickups. I've used them before. I'll use them again. We got Goto locking machine heads, love it. Monorail bridge, whatever that means. Of course, there's the voicing switch if you like the voices. Luminescent side dots, okay. It's a pretty cool 6-string, very nice. All right, now we have, looks like a multi-scale 7-string. Oh, interesting. The RG7PB Cosmic Blue Starburst. All right, let's take a look at that. And it's a multi-scale of the 25.5 to 27-inch scale lengths. Very cool if you like drop tuning or down tuning, of course. And what does it have? Okay, so a Wizard 3 neck, a Jatoba fretboard, jumbo frets. Okay, so it has the nickel silver frets, but it makes sense at this price point. Poplar burl top and Naota body. All right, very attractive top. Array 7 MS pickups. I haven't heard or used those. That's interesting. I'm assuming they're okay. If they're as good as or better than the quantum pickups, they're going to be okay. Or the fusion edges too. Some people just like the fusion edges. I actually kind of like them. They're okay. They're fine. All right, and then what's this? We have the RGR52ET. Very cool. Oh, that's an Evertune. I'm actually a fan of the Evertune now. The Evertune is a mechanical system. It's not magic, but it does hold things in tune. You do have a spring per string mechanical system, so it does feel like you're fighting a spring for every string. So if you do a lot of bends or vibrato, you might not like this, but if you do a lot of recording, or if you want peace of mind for staying in tune in various live settings, depending on temperature, humidity, if that varies a lot, then you might actually like this bridge system. Very cool. And look at that fretboard. Whoa. Very classy. Of course, I like black and yellow. My cat is black with the yellow eyes. So I'm super biased, but okay, it's a Wizard 3 neck, Makassar ebony fretboard, jumbo stainless steel fret. Okay, it has the stainless steel frets. Personally, I'm a fan. Maple top and Naota body. Interesting. And of course, there's the Fishman Fluence Moderns. Looks like we've got the ceramic and the Alnico, so I'm guessing the Alnico is in the neck. Very good combination. Again, you're going to get that Fishman Fluence Modern tone. So if you really hate the sound of modern pickups or hate the sound of the Fishman Moderns, maybe this isn't going to be for you. But in general, they're pretty good active pickups. They're really hot. They've got the compression, but good dynamics. All right, and it has the Evertune. We just talked about that. And the coil tap switch. Okay. And the Fishman Fluence voicing, which is the push-pull. Okay, so this has the up-to-date Fishman Fluence voicing. So it's got the voice 1 active, voice 2 quote-unquote passive. Personally, I don't find there's enough of a difference between the voice 1 and voice 2 to warrant using one or the other. I just always use the active voice 1. To the average listener in a mix, my hot take is that it's not going to matter. But it looks like this has the coil tap also, which might matter. And then there's the luminescent side dots. Okay, interesting. I think this is going to be a contender for one of my favorites too. Very cool. Especially if the fretboard is that streaked, that interesting looking. All right, then moving on, we've got an RGR. There's a B620 and a B720. So 6 and 7 string version of this thing. All right, so it's the typical blacked out RG with the ebony fretboard, jumbo frets, so not stainless steel, just the nickel silver, Wizard 3, ooh, and deactivator pickups, very nice. Got the Edge 2 tremolo, all that. So it looks like this will be the blacked out RG with deactivators. Love those DiMarzio. Back in the day, I would play with an S470 that I put deactivators into, so personally, I'm a fan. It's basically a pickup with the best of both worlds of the active EMG 8160 set, but in passive form. So to have the passive feel and responsiveness without the active compression. One of my favorite pickup sets of all time. But again, maybe I'm biased because I use them a lot. And of course, the 7-string version is the same, just with 7 strings. Now we have the RGRT 420, funny number, which is in weathered black. Let's take a look at that. All right, so it has the Wizard 3, the jumbo frets, the Jatoba fretboard, quantum HH pickups. So it looks like a pretty typical just RG with 2 humbuckers. And what bridge does it have here? The GR2 bridge. Okay, so just the run-of-the-mill Ibanez. Very nice. Gets the job done. All right, and now good news and bad news. I only see one S model here. I'm personally a fan of the S Series because, again, I played an S470 back in the day, back when I was doing live shows. So to see just one is what it is. We got the SML721. All right, and it looks like this is a multi-scale, just like the Axe Design Lab before, but it's in a different color, the Midnight Arctic Ocean Matte. To be fair, it is a really cool color. I'm not personally a fan of multi-scales on 6 strings. I do like my multi-scale 8-string guitars, but on 7 and 6 strings, I do prefer a uniform scale personally. Of course, again, these are tools for the trade. If it works for you, it works for you. We're trying to make music. We're trying to make it. I do like the color of this. I like the gold hardware. We got the quantum pickups, rosewood fretboard, stainless steel frets though. Very nice. Godo locking machine heads, fan of Godo. Okay, so the bridge is what it is. And luminescent side outs. Okay, so a multi-scale S. Like the stainless steel, but would have loved to see more S this time around. Oh well. All right, basses. We got more basses. We've got the SR series. So I have a few SR 300s here. We've got the E with deep ocean metallic color. We've got the EB in walnut flat and the EDX in wide and red frozen matte. Let's take a look at what these mean. All right, so we got the 5-piece maple walnut neck, Jatoba fretboard, medium frets, Neoda body. Okay, so we got just a pretty typical Ibanez bass. We move on. We've got the SR305, which is the 5-string, which is also in the E, the deep ocean metallic, the walnut flat in the EB, and then again the EDX is the wine red frozen matte. And these are the 5-string versions. And we move on to the SR3500. So we got one in black. We got a 3505, which is the 5-string, also in black, and of course the 6-string variant. You'll never guess, it's the SR3506. And so these are the prestige versions because they have the prestige fret end treatment with the medium frets, so not stainless steel, the rosewood fretboard, all the typical stuff, the alder body, their own proprietary 3-band EQ, and a 3-way mid-frequency switch with a hexa mid system. So maybe if you want to adjust your mid-range resonant frequencies, you can work with this. Again, I'm not a bassist, so this is very interesting to me. And the hard shell case is included. Next up, we've got the SR400 series. So we got the SR400 EQM and the SR405 EQM, the 5-string version. And so these just have the medium frets, the Jatoba fretboard, pretty typical stuff. Seems like this is the quilted maple blue version of the SR bass. And beyond that, we have the Desert Sunburst version, so the SR4500 and the SR4505, obviously the 5-string version. And now this, though, is prestige level. So it has the frets with the prestige fret end treatment, the ash body for the weight, the S-Tech roasted maple, very nice. Of course, you get the Ibanez Sonatech preamp 3-band, so the proprietary 3-band EQ. And there's an EQ bypass switch too, very interesting. Again, I'm a guitarist, not a bassist, but that does seem like it would be pretty cool. And it has that mid-frequency switch, hard shell case, all that stuff. Very nice. Beyond that, we have more prestige basses, the SR5500 in the Mocha flat. We have the 5-string version, SR5505, of course in Mocha flat, and then the 5506, again in Mocha flat. More prestige basses, but this one has an Ovankle top, very interesting, never heard of that before, and an African mahogany body, have heard of that before. More medium frets with the prestige treatment, rosewood fretboard, but all the prestige trims and trappings that you would expect. Very cool bass if you like the color. And then finally we get to another blue one. We get to the SR6605, which is a 5-string. Personally a fan of 5 strings. And this has the rosewood fretboard, medium frets, again not stainless steel, but with all the prestige trims and trappings. Now we get to these interesting basses, the SRD900C and SRD905, the 5-string variant, in Cosmic Blue Starburst. All right, so more blue basses. And these basses have 30 frets, so if you like lead work on your bass, here you go. We got the Panga Panga fretboard, the medium frets, Nordstrand Big Break, and Aero Silk Piezo pickups. Very fancy. And next we have a left-hand bass with the SRM S805L, a 5-string. If I was left-handed and looking for a bass, especially one that was multi-scale, that was this one, I would probably go for this one. It's got the typical stuff by this point, the medium frets, the Panga Panga fretboard, a Jatoba walnut neck, interesting, and it's got Bartolini's, all right, and of course the top is a poplar burl, and the body is Okume, not bad at all. And then let's go into the Tallmans next. So there's an acoustic Tallman, it's all black, all right, my inner teenager loves it again. It's not too highly priced, and we got an Okume neck, Purple Heart fretboard, okay, spruce top, and a Sapil back and sides. I really hope I'm saying that wood names right. And of course there's a pickup and a preamp with a tuner. Okay, so it's got all the essentials and some nice electronics. If I was looking to buy a budget acoustic, maybe this would be it. And then there's some Tallman basses. There's an iced Americano burst color. All right, as a coffee drinker, I love this already. And it's the TMB400TA. Not bad. It's some pretty typical specs. Rosewood fretboard, pretty classic. Roasted maple neck. All right. Medium frets. Ash top with a poplar body. That's interesting. And then from there, there's a black one, a TMB420. Nice number, B. And it's black flat. Let's see what the specs are right here. All right, an Ebenol fretboard. Maybe this is a typo. Who knows? A roasted maple neck. Okay, so maybe these Tallman basses have roasted maple necks. Pretty useful, pretty stable. An Okume body, and just some regular specs beyond that. And it looks like there's a 5-string variant too, the TMB425B. Very nice. And from there, it looks like there's some V Series. There's a V40WSCE, and then corresponding to that, there's a VC40WSCE, and those are both brown. Both of these have a cutaway, a single cutaway. And so in the former, but also the latter, there's a white cirrus top and back and sides. And they have an undersaddle pickup, preamp onboard tuner, all that good stuff. And a Murianti neck, Nandu wood fretboard. These are very interesting. I've never heard of these woods before. I see there is a V44CE open pore acoustic guitar, and it's in weathered black. All black is very nice. And again, we have Marianti neck and a Nandu wood fretboard, but this has a Marianti top and back and side, so different wood materials for the back and sides. On the acoustics, this can matter. Now we have a model of V54NJP open pore, so it's weathered black but with no cutaways. And I'm looking here again, Marianti neck and top, Nandu wood fretboard, but the Marianti back and sides. But there's no electronics on this one, so this is going to be the most bare bones acoustic you can get here. And also the cheapest, it looks like. And then finally there's the VC40WSCE. And it has a single cutaway, it's weathered black. And it's all the same stuff as the other weathered black acoustics we just talked about, but this does have the electronics with the preamp and the tuner. So what was I hoping for? You could see I'm holding my RGA622XH. So I was hoping for more RGA Prestiges, or any RGA Prestiges. I'm a real big fan of the RGA, but alas, it's not here. I get it, the AZ, it's pretty popular, it sells a lot, they're going to focus on that. But man, I would love to see more of things like this. Maybe something more sane with 24 frets and 2 humbuckers instead of the 27 frets. The 27 frets are fun, don't get me wrong, but man. And of course, I'd love to see more S series. I do like this S671 a lot. It does have the Wizard 3 neck. I would love a Prestige one with the modern trims and trappings, like the stainless steel frets. Honestly, as long as it has 2 humbuckers, I don't care what the humbuckers are. If they're really terrible, I'll switch them out. But a Prestige S would be just fantastic. So to be left hanging, it is pretty disappointing. Is what it is. I'm grateful we got some new colors, some options. Cool to see the deactivators on the RGDs, some roasted maple necks. Tallman bases are pretty cool. Maybe a Tallman Prestige with humbuckers, that would be something, wouldn't it? So these are pretty safe options. Who knows why that is? I'm not going to speculate about business here. Am I really itching to buy one of these new models? Honestly, no. I'm a huge Ibanez fan, as you could see, as you could tell. But aside from the 565, that desert yellow one specifically, there was some interesting stuff. If I was looking for a 7-string, I would strongly consider the RGD. But I do like my Solar A1.7 a lot. So that's going to be near impossible to dethrone, for me personally. So did I see anything that jumps out and made me say, oh wow, I have to have this? Honestly, no. So to that extent, I'm disappointed. I'm glad they're doing something. New colors are always cool. Maybe one day I'll pick up an AZ. I can see the merit. It does seem like it's a good guitar. But for me personally, this January 2025 does seem like a run-of-the-mill, super safe release winter. Knock on wood, never say never. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy any new guitars, but I don't see anything that's making me take out my wallet. Given the change of seasons, it's cold now, it's winter up here. I have done a bunch of guitar setups, some restrings, all that jazz. And whenever you do that, it feels like having the same guitar is a new guitar, and playing it just becomes fun again. So I don't feel particularly motivated to buy a new guitar when I have all these already. I have a lot of ambitious plans for releasing music, both originals and covers. I'm in progress with both a cover album and an original album and a single. All these will come out very soon. So to me, seeing this lineup and not seeing anything that immediately jumps out at me, it's not really pushing me to buy. But maybe you saw something you really liked. Maybe there's something that's really speaking to you. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what that is, or what your thoughts are. Maybe you're a little bit disappointed just like me. Of course, this is YouTube, so I gotta say the YouTube things, okay? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, print out every frame and mail it, join the Discord, check out the Patreon, become a channel member, and do a backflip. And as always, peace.